What if the biggest digital mistake we made wasn't social media, but us assuming it was harmless? If you have ever thought, I wish I had known sooner about smartphones, social media, or algorithms, you're not alone. None of us received a manual for parenting in digital world. We were learning in real time alongside our children. But the important thing is this: we can now prepare ourselves and our children for what's next by applying the lessons we have learned from previous experience. When social media first arrived, we saw connection and creativity. What we didn't see clearly were the invisible mechanics working underneath. Dopamine loops tied to binge-worthy clips, comparison culture wrapped in highlight reels, and the gradual normalization of sharing private moments publicly. Quietly, new habits became culture. Everyone does it became a safety blanket. Years later, we began to notice the cost on attention, on mood, on well-being, on identity, and on the developing brain. We moved from private photo albums to public feeds, from occasional milestones to daily updates. Each single post may feel like a small detail, but together they form a detailed picture. Names of school, daily routines, friendship groups, locations and hobbies, health challenges and vulnerabilities. This is what I call the digital jigsaw. Tiny pieces that assemble into a story, far more revealing than we intend. Social media amplified attention. Now AI amplifies prediction. AI doesn't need your secrets. It needs your patterns. Public data can be easily extracted, cross-referenced, and analyzed to infer surprisingly personal details. That's why oversharing matters in a new way. It's no longer just about who sees something today, but how it can be analyzed tomorrow. Locations, schedules, friendships, circles, interests, and vulnerabilities can be pieced together over time. This is also why grooming, manipulation, and exploitation are becoming much easier in the digital world. Our teenagers today tend to overshare. Emotional struggles, relationship drama, party culture, strong opinions, often without context. They are expressive, and that is developmentally normal. But online, context collapses and the audience expands. That audience can include a future university admissions officer or employer, someone making decisions about a young person's future based on a single inside joke from year 12 on Instagram. One impulsive post can outweigh years of effort. So the most powerful response isn't surveillance, it's connection. Build an open, trusting conversation with your child and talk through practical boundaries together. Decide what belongs in private, inner circle, and public spaces. Identify red flags like the post should not accompany addresses, precise locations, school, uniform identifiers, medical or behavioral information, even routine schedules or travel plans. Encourage them to pause and ask, would this be okay on school notice board? Would I feel comfortable explaining this to a university admissions panel or a future employer? If possible, audit social media together, of course, along with their consent and agreement, and remove content that could be misused or misunderstood. Parents also play a significant role in shaping a child's digital footprint. Health updates, academic achievements, behavioral challenges, often shared for community and connection. But it's worth pausing to ask, if this post were about me at 14, would I approve? And will my child be grateful for this post at 25? We were unprepared once with social media. We don't have to be unprepared again. This time we can see the risk earlier. We can teach boundaries before habits are cemented. We can build critical thinking before posting becomes automatic. We can ask for consent. We can pause before sharing. And we can choose to keep some moments beautifully offline. Let me leave you all with a question. What digital habits do you wish someone had taught you earlier, and how early do you think we should start teaching same habits to our children now?